And in fact, she's empowered everyone she's touched. This woman transcends your expectations. Take out your pen and paper and get ready to take notes. She's only going to be with us a very short time. She's going to reveal empowering concepts that will enable you to not only live a little longer, breathe a little better, but make more money and take better care of your children. This is Jacinth Tracey.
How many of us are living a life of poor mental health, making bad decisions that keep us from living the life we want to live, making bad decisions that affect not only us, but affect our family, our friends, our future? How many of us want to run a system that will give you better mental health, which will also guarantee better physical health?
I knew what I was experiencing. I knew I was experiencing symptoms of depression. I knew I was experiencing anxiety. And the funny thing is, the first visit I went to, he started asking these questions. Are you feeling hopelessness? Are you having difficulty sleeping? And I started to laugh, and I said, I know what you're doing. You're trying to diagnose me under DSM-4 criteria for generalized anxiety and major depression. Let me tell you, I already have it. I've already diagnosed myself. And so I explained to him why I knew all that stuff, and so we just had a kind of a peer relationship. But the issue is, just knowing about mental health doesn't preclude you from experiencing, because knowing is not doing, right? To know and not to do is not to know. So when you go to these seminars and you hear people speak, and you don't put what we say into action, it's like you've never been here, right? So you have to take action on what you've learned.
Right now, I use these wonderful prescription glasses, and I could see with clarity, and I could see with focus. I was going around with these. I call them my foggy fear glasses, right? And when you've got, anybody ever come in from hot outside into an air-conditioned room and you're wearing your sunglasses, and all of a sudden you can see nothing at all because the glasses are fogged up? So you can't take a step to the left, you can't take a step to the right, you can't move forward, you can do really nothing because you can't see where you're going. It's the same thing when you wear these foggy fear glasses. You can't see where you're going, so you don't make decisions, or you make bad decisions. You make bad decisions about your relationships, you make bad decisions about your finances, you make bad decisions about your professional life. Or you don't make decisions at all, which is also making a decision. You're happy when you dump your fears, when you stop thinking about what other people think, when you start to live your authentic life, when you become self-aware, when you stop wondering about the what-ifs, and you take calculated risks. We talked earlier today about taking risks. So what if you fail? Failure is not failure as long as you learn from it. Lessons learned are want yourself in the mirror, love who you see, and be yourself. Be fearless.
If you dig deep enough, you will find what it is that is triggering your stress response. And it's really, really important to know what that is, because stress, whether you're aware of it or not, will have negative impacts on your health, because stress is chronic. It's not just short term, it's long term, it's everyday, it's the traffic jams, it's the fight you had with your husband, the toxic friend that you have that keeps being a little bit passive aggressive, it's the disrespectful teenagers. Stress is happening every single day of your life. So if you don't become self-aware and mindful about what your triggers are, then you won't be able to figure out what it is that you need to do to actually make that change.
Because a lot of things I do when I coach women is get them to figure out with me what their mental block is. I believe is the foundational piece of whether or not we're successful in our relationships, in our professional life, and in our financial life, as we'll be talking about later. So, people say, okay, I want to lose weight, or I want to make more money, or I want to meet the man of my dreams, or I want to live in a nice house, and they set those goals. But then they don't reach those goals. They don't lose the weight. They keep entering into toxic relationships with dysfunctional men. They can't hold on to a job, and they wonder why. That's your limiting beliefs. And again, those are some things that we have to address because they affect us, not only energetically, whether we go through life like this, or whether we go through life like that, whether you're the Tigger in the Pooh story, or you're the Eeyore. Energy is finite and infinite at the same time, right? Energy in a universal sense is infinite. The energy we bring to our day-to-day lives does get depleted over time. We need rest, we need sleep, we need to eat. One of the things as we in our biological human forms need to do is we need better time management and better people management. We need to be able to not overcommit to so many things, and we need to not say yes to so many people.
Right.
So one of the things we have to do is we have to prioritize what we want to do and who we want them to do them for or with. And once we have a clear sense of who we are, we become self-actualized, become self-aware. We have a specific idea of who we are. We know what our values are, and we know our strengths. If we don't know our key values and core strengths, that's disaster. Our key values and core strengths drive what we do, whether it's on a conscious level or a subconscious level. So once we know who we are and what we stand for, it's much easier to say yes to that and no to that, yes to this person and no to that person, because if they don't fit in with our values, they don't fit in with our key strengths, they don't fit in with our vision for ourselves, then they don't fit into our big picture. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And then you could also do that without feeling guilty or frustrated or resentful or shameful as a function of that. But it all goes back to being self-aware and mindful about who you are at your core. What the psychologist tells us to do is what we do, regardless of whether we think we're actually doing it consciously or not. So what your mom told you that you could be, whether she told you you're pretty or not, whether she told you you could go after your goals and get them or not, whether your dad gave you lots of hugs and kisses, or whether he was indifferent, or whether you lost your first boyfriend in school, or whether your best friend, dumped you. All this stuff becomes part of what you think you can be in life. So a lot of the things that block our bliss is that we're not aware that these are the little voices in our head.
Right.
When we have these negative thoughts and these limiting beliefs, they're not all our voices.
No.
They're the voices of other people. And it is the way, but it's actually the destination. It's not the how, it's not the process. So we'll all be together talking about the process in little bits and pieces later on. But the end result is self-awareness. The end result is mindfulness. The end result is living a powerful and fearless life.
Learn from just a few minutes of her sharing with us some secrets to unblocking personal limitations and trying to start my own business. It's just, for me, I had a lot of limiting thinking going on in the background, a lot of upbringing that has caused me to kind of falter, and what she was able to do is create a really supportive environment in which I can grow and blossom and step into my power and move forward in life and in business. And that's been really something that I needed for the last few years. I just been stuck. So thank you, Jacinth.
Jacinth, I just wanted to mention to you that when you were explaining earlier today about how your thoughts will actually impact the use of your words, and how it'll impact the outcome, such as like if I think I can't do something, then I might not ever try it, right? And if I don't ever try it, I'll never find out if I could have succeeded. And so something that seems so obvious now that you mentioned it is actually kind of profound.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Jacinth. She is amazing. I met her at an event and was so impressed by the way that she talked from her heart. She engaged the entire room, and she just really had an impact on me personally. It was wonderful to see. She was given several different challenges and just hit it out of the park. If you're thinking of being able to work with her, you would be privileged to do so. Please take advantage of her skills and expertise. She's amazing.